SJ and this is my weight loss Q&A. I asked you guys for some questions because I've done a few videos on my weight loss. I've lost 4 stone, which is around 56 pounds in 5 months it took me. I've gone from 12 stone 5 to about 8 stone 4. So you guys sending me some questions and I'm just going to get straight on with them and not waffle too much because there are tons of questions and I just want to answer them all. So the first question was from Janine on Instagram and she was saying, what kept you motivated, and specifically what did you visualize when you thought of your end goal? When I started, I wanted to lose 10 pounds. That's all I kind of really thought I would ever achieve in terms of weight loss. 4 stone was never my goal, and it was just to lose that to feel good about myself on my daughter's first birthday. She's my 3rd baby, and I was sick of my weight affecting my mental health and making me feel sad about myself, and I wanted to give myself that moment on her first birthday of loving the pictures, and I lost a stone for her first birthday, and then I just carried on because I loved the diet so much. Gabby on YouTube, hi Gabby, was saying, what's been your biggest hurdle losing weight and how did you overcome it? My biggest hurdle really has been my own habits, just my own bad habits. That's why I was maintaining the bigger weight that I probably should have lost after having my 3rd baby. It should have been baby weight that was kind of gradually coming off. It was not shifting at all because I was eating the kids' leftovers. I was barely eating all day, and then from 8 p.m. onwards eating everything in sight, waking up feeling gross and full, repeating the cycle. So being aware of my own habits and facing them and then having to create new habits to change them was definitely the hardest bit of anything, isn't it? Changing any type of habit is always tough. And any advice for keeping the weight off, I will do that maintenance video because I mean I'm 8 stone 4 and I don't feel like I need to be this thin. If I put a little bit on over summer, that's not going to bother me too much, but obviously I do love being this weight at the moment. Not obviously, but I do. So Claudia on Instagram said, how do you deal with social events like dinner parties? And quite a lot of you asked me about that. I must just be really boring because I don't have that many social events. I'm a mum of 3 and my social events is basically me and my husband on the sofa. Somebody was asking about how he's felt about it as well on YouTube, and he's been fine about it. I didn't consult him and discuss it in advance. I was just like, I'm doing this diet, and he was like, oh okay, and he's very laid back and chilled. So he's never said anything about my weight ever, not when I was larger, not now. He really barely comments. He's proud of what I've achieved, and I think he can see my self-confidence coming through, and like he says sometimes, oh my wife's really hot and stuff like that, because I'm the same way I was when we got married, which is quite nice for me. I feel like I've been able to take control and be a happier person, which is better for him. That wasn't a question. The social events question is, I've gone out on social events. I decided I was not going to let this diet stop me. If I got an invite, I was going to go, because it was mind, body and spirit, isn't it, when you're doing a diet like this? And one of my other goals while I started the diet to feel good about myself was also to get out a bit more, be a bit more sociable, make the effort to see my friends a bit more. This is all about getting my life back after having my 3rd baby. So I did go on a few nights out, and I would have a glass of wine, I would also drink the water, I would have a very small startery type dinner, or if friends came to the house, I would just make my own Cambridge products and just not drink, or we went to the cinema. So like you would socialise when you're pregnant basically, but also I was really strict about getting straight back on the diet the next day. This diet doesn't work if you have cheat days. It takes you about 4 days for your body to get back into the weight loss fat burning. So if you come off every weekend, it's not going to work, because it's 4 days to get back into it. You basically got 1 day where it's working and then you're back at the start again. So understanding how it works, and that's good, having a consultant and, you know, being able to discuss it really helped keep me going. Emma's on day 4 of the Cambridge diet, wants to know what the hardest thing and how I overcame it. Day 4 was my hardest thing. The first week was stressful and hard, and I think it was just being really knowledgeable about what was going on with my body, because I felt sick and nauseous, and realizing that was more like the toxins that were coming out of my body rather than the food I was putting into it that was making me feel unwell. And just, I don't know what motivated me. I think I had such an inner strength that things needed to change. I was unhappy, and I felt like I was working towards happiness, not working towards weight, not working towards a dress size. I was working towards a happier me, and I never lost sight of that. And I think once I did my previous video, I'll link it below, about the one tip for diet success, and it's definitely about having that mental mindset before you go into it. So I think that was how. But yeah, the first week is tough, and I had early nights, went to bed early, and just like bunkered down, because by day 7 I felt absolutely amazing. And also a lot of people ask me about skin, and if you're losing weight fast on something like a meal replacement plan, are you going to get lots of saggy loose skin? I do have a little bit of excess skin around my tummy, but I think I've done quite well with my arms and quite well with my legs. I don't really have any bad skin around there. I don't know why. I didn't do anything special with it. My tummy, I don't expect to have a totally flat toned stomach after 3 kids anyway, and I would much rather have saggy skin and be in my healthy BMI than the other way around. You know, after a baby you expect some stretch marks and some sagging and some skin, so, but I don't expect to stay overweight. That overweight though, it was unhealthy for me. Lots of people ask me about if I've exercised or worked out. I haven't worked out to lose the weight at all. I have done workouts in the past to lose my baby weight with having a fit in. This time around with 3 kids, I literally just was really feeling out of control in my mind, and I didn't have that mental strength to start an exercise regime. I didn't have the confidence to go to an aerobics class or anything like that, and I didn't feel I had the time to do like a 45 minutes at home or anything like that, or the little 5-minute things. I just needed to have control. Missy, hello, is saying, what's your favourite diet friendly treat? I really like the products on Cambridge Weight Plan. I have like a mint chocolate bar that I'm allowed, and sometimes I sort of save it to the end of the day. I'll have them in 2 halves, so I've got something for after dinner with a cup of tea. And my favourite diet treat though has just been buying myself clothes and taking pictures of myself. And I've had a comment on Instagram when I asked for questions saying stop being so image obsessed, and I get that. And I had a comment here actually that I wanted to say, you know, she's just saying like, you look great before and after, and don't focus so much on your weight. The reason I'm talking so much about weight on my channel, it was a lovely comment by the way, was because when I wanted to lose weight, I went online and I wanted to follow people's journeys, and I also thought I can't just lose the weight and not mention it, not mention how I'm doing it. People were asking me, and I wanted to share it, and I want to talk more about the emotional side of it as well as the practical side. So I wanted to get your questions to kind of gauge what people were really interested in. And there's a bit of a balance there between like, how do you feel and how did you do it? You've all been so positive. Like, everyone's self-image or self-worth, when we all look in the mirror, we all have to face ourselves, and we all live a lot in our own minds and in our own bodies. I don't know many people who are totally unself-aware, especially after going through being pregnant and having children. Your body is changing so much, and you've done something amazing. And I had this big body positivity movement where I was like, I'm not going to erase motherhood from my body quickly. I've just birthed the baby. But then I had the opposite when time was right, which was I now deserve and fully deserve to look the best I've ever looked. I'm not going to get pregnant again. There's no reason my body will go up and down like that again. So now is my time, and seizing that and being proud and loud about it. And nobody should sort of shame anybody else for wanting to put on weight, wanting to lose weight, you know, all of that good stuff. That's why you're here and you're lovely. Heather's asking about getting back on track after a binge eat or after falling off the wagon. And yeah, binging is a huge issue for so many of us. I think we emotionally eat. I eat when I'm tired, and I eat when I'm a little bit lonely and bored. I don't really eat for happiness or sadness, I don't know. But yeah, I think getting back on track is always just about knowing that you're working, you're on a path, you're going to get there, we're going to get to a target. It's just about how long it takes you along that path, and you might make a meander. You haven't turned around and gone backwards and fall off the wagon and the wagon's gone, and it's like, oh well, that was my chance gone, I can't buy any more tickets. It's just knowing you are the wagon, it's just you, and it doesn't matter because it is just you, and you can equally wake up that next day and say this is going to be a great day. Chris is asking, what cravings do I struggle with? What was hard to give up? I struggle with craving wine o'clock mum. I'm definitely a wine o'clock mum, and I had to just create new habits for that time of the day when I would normally switch off and switch gear from being mum all day into being me. I would always have a glass of wine, and it was hard to switch that. So it was just being really conscious of that and being, okay, I'm not going to do that anymore. And I would just started to do something nice. So I started listening to podcasts. It's such a random, but I love podcasts. and I would listen to a podcast, I would have a sparkling water, and I would keep myself busy at that time of day, and the craving would pass, and then the craving finally goes. So once you're aware of your cravings, and if you crave sweet things, then Cambridge is great for you because there's absolutely tons of chocolate bars. But asking about recovering after a blip, so Hepburn on YouTube is asking this, and somebody on Instagram who's doing Cambridge weight plan and only lost 4 pounds, which is great weight loss in 1 week after having these ginormous weight losses, is hard on Cambridge weight plan because sometimes you'll lose like 8 pounds in a week, and then you'll do 3 pounds, whatever. You're going down all the time, you know, you're going towards a goal, and I always thought of it as a month goal rather than a weekly goal, because I'm good at seeing big pictures. I've learned that with kids. I can't judge on the day if I've been a good mum today, judge myself only ever on a week and the balance of activities and good times and bad times, and times you've chucked them into bed and thought thank God they're in bed, and times you've sat there cuddling them as long as they like. And Melanie was asking what the best and worst experiences after and during weight loss have been. And the best experiences, I think, has been those, there are the moments of going into changing rooms and putting things on and feeling like I've achieved something for me. And I've always felt much more than, oh, I look great. I've always felt I've achieved it, I've done it, I set out to do something and I've done it. And I think for me it was just this spiral effect that taking control in that one area has led to me in the whole rest of my life, and that willpower in one aspect of your life, it just spills over. So whatever it is that's your biggest thing, or maybe your biggest thing that's burning a hole in your brain, like I really wish I could get this under control, if you do, it has a spiral effect, and that's been the best thing for me. And sharing it, you know, I've literally met so many people online, so many, sometimes that people I chat to like every day now through weight loss, has been amazing. And the toughest part of it has been now, I think when I say that, I'm obviously at my ideal weight now and I'm maintaining. I've also just got this kind of paranoia in my mind, or anxiety in my mind about sharing this weight loss, carrying on sharing it. I know that some people see me putting up these before and after pictures as if I'm saying that, oh, before I was yuck and before was awful and now is great. And also I don't want people to think, oh, she's getting successful off the back of now she's thin. You know, I just started playing in my mind a lot, because I don't really like the before and after thoughts. Like, and I've always said this, for me isn't about before and after, it's about kind of, you know, my confidence growing, and it was a personal journey, and it just happens to be like I also do YouTube. But I'm not going to not share it, because I know it was the first place I went to try and get inspiration, motivation, and to stay on track. And if I can do that for people, then I will. You guys have all been so lovely and supportive. Like, none of you, you've all just said you looked great before and you look lovely now. Glad to see you happier, glad to see you more confident. All those lovely comments. And I just think spread that. Like, let's just do body positivity in that way as well. Like, anyone who's trying to put on weight or change who they are, change anything about themselves to make themselves feel happier on the inside, is worth us all giving them a big clap and celebrating. And you guys have been amazing to me, and thank you a lot for that. And I don't want you to ever think that the before and after pictures and me pointing at that person who I was and saying that's not good, because I was happy as anything. I'd had my 3rd baby, I was living the best life ever, my husband loved me, and it was just things happened that year that gradually knocked me down, my own self-esteem, my own head, nothing kind of, you know, and that deserves to get sorted out. And that's what I'm saying. If you're new and you've watched all the way to the end, you're pretty amazing in the first place. Don't forget to hit subscribe and follow along. There'll be more in-depth weight loss things. I'm going to go into these themes a little bit more. Love you guys. Thank you very much for everything, and get over onto Instagram as well. Bye.